In the year 2020, when most of the world was debilitated by COVID-19, I had the privilege of living in a place that went 253 days, from April to December, without a single locally transmitted case. In fact, over the whole year, there were only 799 cases and 7 deaths. During this time, I was able to go to the gym and attend concerts and live life almost as normal. I'm talking, of course, about Taiwan, my home. My name is Chase Nelson, Ni Cheng-zhi, and I'm a scientist living and working in Taiwan. My specialty is virus evolution, and during the pandemic, I've been involved in some research projects trying to characterize all the genes in SARS-CoV-2 and to give them consistent names. Now, as a scientist living in Taiwan, I'm often asked, how did Taiwan do so well? And in my view, there's really 3 ingredients in Taiwan's success. And each of those ingredients really exemplifies something that makes it great to live in Taiwan. Now, the first most important part of Taiwan's success in battling COVID was, of course, quarantine. And specifically, all travelers coming in from overseas and all people who have had contact with a COVID-19 infected person are required to isolate for 14 days. Now, of course, places all over the world implement quarantine, but the thing that made Taiwan's so effective was the speed with which it was deployed. You might not be able to believe it easily, but as soon as December 31st, 2019, Taiwan started screening flights from China. And then in January 2020, it started implementing quarantine. To me, this really demonstrates the fast, progressive thinking of both the scholars and the policymakers here. And that's part of what makes it so great living in Taiwan. Number 2, masks. Now, we're all familiar with the scientific benefits of mask wearing, but there's also a strong social component. And I can tell you that it feels so good walking down the street and seeing your neighbors all wearing masks and sort of nodding with smiling eyes. And the reason for that is that masks are a kind of visible proof that everyone is taking a threat seriously and looking out for one another. And in fact, I think that's one of the reasons Taiwan never had to shut down its economy. In fact, its economy grew. And a big part of that is just the trust that other people are taking the threat seriously and not being careless with their health or with yours. Now, third and last, there's transparency. And what I mean by that is every day during the pandemic, around 2 p.m., those of us in Taiwan stop what we're doing to listen to the Minister of Health, Chen Shizhong, give the daily COVID-19 update. Now, besides being informative, these press conferences are often the scene of sometimes silly, but sometimes legitimate criticism from the press. In fact, I myself have had some criticisms of the government policies here. It hasn't been perfect. But I can tell you with utmost sincerity that there is no place I would have rather lived during COVID-19, and there continues to be no place I feel safer. And a big part of that is knowing that Taiwan is a place that not only tolerates free speech, but welcomes it. So if you think Taiwan sounds interesting, if you like the idea of forward-thinking experts who are among the first in the world to respond when there's an emerging threat, if you like the idea of a warm, friendly, hospitable community, and if you like vigorous, transparent debate, I encourage you to learn more about Taiwan. One thing you could do today, right now, is to check out some of the institutions listed on the Taiwan Education Fair website. Who knows, you might find a mentor or a program that looks like a good fit. And if you do, why not send an email right now? I hope to see you in Taiwan.